Welcome, ladies and gents. The excuses will come thick and fast, I'm sure. But Doctor Who has failed. It's failed at the BBC. It's now failed on Disney Plus as well. In fact, we know this because we've got the figures. So we've got the figures for the premiere, which, you know, appeared on the BBC, courtesy of the BBC. We know those figures. But now we've got the Nielsen charts, which is what tracks Disney Plus. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's failed on Disney Plus. So Disney spent quite a lot of money on this. And I did say during all of my ratings videos that, hey, we've heard nothing from Disney. If it was good, you probably would have heard something. We've heard nothing. We know why. They can't spin it positively. It's failed. It's been abysmal. Yeah. So, goalposts keep moving from everyone defending this show. You can enjoy it, but don't defend it in the way that you're doing with these pathetic arguments. So, the overnight figures have been terrible. Then people said, well, the iPlayer figures are going to be great. The iPlayer figures have come out. They're terrible as well. Then people are talking up. The showrunner is now going, yeah, but the 28-day figures are good. They're not, actually. They're really bad. People say Disney Plus is going to be really good. No, it's bad across the board, guys. It's failed. It's a complete failure. It's bombed. Utterly abysmal ratings. So we're going to dive into this. So hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. So, basically, Doctor Who has failed completely, massively so. In fact, it's the worst. It's basically the worst in history. I mean, the most recent episode, which arguably anyone who's watched it said it's the best one yet. You know, the Legend of Ruby Sunday. People have said, you know, that's good, but that's actually the worst in history. In fact, it's the lowest ratings in 60 years of the show. But also it's now failing on Disney Plus, which is important to note. So let's have a look. So Doctor Who again scores a new rating, low on episode 7. The Legend of Ruby Sunday is the worst in the entire show's 60-year history, and it's the second time to do so this season. So basically it's breaking records. There was a previous low. It's pretty bad. Now there's a brand new low. So it's outdone itself. It's outfailed its own failure, basically. Which is comical as hell. But what is the real tell-all is the Disney Plus figures. Now remember, it's not available in the UK on Disney Plus, so this is just for Americans. And Disney spent a substantial amount of money on this. So they want a return on that investment. They want it to be good on their ratings. They want to get good viewership. No one cares. So it's also learned that the 2-episode premiere from last month failed to make the Nielsen ratings charts for Disney Plus. Right. Now that shouldn't be a surprise, because the 3 anniversary specials also didn't make the ratings chart, or the Christmas special. Why are you spending money on this, Disney? What are you doing? It's just dead. It's just completely dead. So bad. So it is currently now the lowest ratings in 60 years. So the overnight UK rating system reports that Doctor Who was watched by only 2.02 million viewers, which is the lowest ever in 60 years, and lower than episode 3's 2.04 million. So the previous low was its own season. So the episode also loses about 100,000 viewers from the previous episode, and it's done that consistently. So it's losing viewership consistently. So The Legend of Ruby Sunday, I've done a video on this, by the way, but let's just recap it, shall we? So The Legend of Ruby Sunday also revealed the new villain, seemingly an important episode, but as we see, fans continue to turn off the show, which is true. And that is what Fruity Gatwa wanted everyone to do. And it is comical, because that Jinx Monsoon, that drag queen thing that was, you know, the villain, what was it, Devil's Cord, that individual said, well, for every bigot that chooses to switch off, there'll be... was it 3 or 4, 3 or 5, something like that. A higher amount of people would come and tune in. Well, they haven't, mate. They haven't. You need to retain your core audience, right? Especially when it's a niche show like Doctor Who. You have to retain your core audience. There is no audience for this. No one cares about this. And the people that you're trying to pander to are not consumers. They don't give a shit. They fundamentally don't... Well, one, they don't have any money. And two, they're out... They're busy. They're virtue signaling online. Or some crap. I don't bloody know. I don't know what these turds do. So here's the really interesting thing, though. And like I said, the fact that it's failed on Disney Plus, it's failed to make the Nielsen ratings with the first 3 episodes. That's really bad. Really, really, really bad, actually, because Nielsen will be doing the total episodes. So it'll do it as a season thus far. So it'll do a cumulative minutes watched for the entire month period that it's tracking for. So the fact that 3 episodes, so the entire season, cannot make it on there is really bad. Like, that's really bad, because these are not short episodes either. So regarding the ratings on Disney Plus, the 2-episode premiere fails to make the Nielsen ratings for the week they premiered, which is May 6th to 12th. And it didn't make the ratings for the subsequent week time frame either, which is May 13th to 18th, with 3 episodes available as of the 18th. So again, total amount is what it's tracking. It'll track it as a season. So literally no one, like no one's, like, you can't even get on the top 10 Nielsen's chart. That's really bad. That's absolutely atrocious. So Doctor Who is also absent from Disney invested Samba TV. So Disney, I mean, if they're going to spin it one way or another, it'll be from Samba TV. But even on Samba TV charts, and they've not released any viewership numbers, likely at request of Disney, because the viewership is bad. So Samba TV has their own charts, but they've not released any numbers for the Doctor Who, like outside of that. So it's not made the charts, but then also they're not releasing figures. And Disney would be like, yeah, don't do that, please. Don't do that. That'd be good. Cheers. Don't thanks. Bad times. Real bad times. It says this, who's watching? Returning showrunner Russell T Davies recently tackled the poor ratings, admit the ratings are not where they wanted to be. I did a video on that. He also spun it as trying to be positive. He was like, oh, we're getting a younger audience. You're not, though. At all, actually. Because they're not watching on Disney Plus. They're not watching... Samba TV's nothing there. And Samba TV, predominantly, Disney Plus is the least watched streamer among the Gen Z crowd. So who's watching where? No one's watching it anywhere. Russell T Davies thought that he could, would stick it to everyone, double down with the woke BS because Disney money. But we all knew what would happen. When it's all the agenda, it's a massive fail. Proven every time. This is true. 27% on Rotten Tomatoes as well. I think it might be a little bit lower than that now. I mean, look, this thing's absolutely failed. By every metric, it's a complete failure. By every single metric, it's a failure. It's bombed on... Disney Doctor Who has bombed on Disney. And you're catering it for that crowd, and it's bombed on there. Like, well done, guys. Well done. I mean, I don't care. Maybe I can keep making enough of these videos so I can buy another classic car. Who knows? But yeah, terrible stuff. Absolutely woeful and abysmal. Garbage. Genuinely garbage. So yeah, real bad times. Real bad times. But anyway, hit subscribe if you're newer, guys. Don't let anyone try and spin this as positive. 3 episodes cannot make a chart. Right? That's bad. Because that's total runtime. If 3 episodes are not being watched enough to make the Nielsen's charts, you know it's a failure. Like, that's an epic failure. So anyway, if you're new here, hit subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, you think it's worth at least $2, then support me via Patreon. It's the first link down below. We do get demonetized here. I make a joke about, making videos and earning money and stuff. But yeah, we do get demonetized. So support on Patreon. Cheers. Bye now.